There's a reason the Epstein story won't go away. And it's not because of conspiracy theories. It's because the public knows there's more to the story. And now President Trump is doing something no other president has done before. He's ordering the release of Epstein files. But before we get into this story, please like, comment, and share Explain America. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. So President Trump just announced on Thursday night that he's directing Attorney General Pam Bondi to seek the release of grand jury testimony related to Jeffrey Epstein, a massive step towards full transparency and one of the most high-profile scandals of our time. He wrote on Truth Social, quote, "Based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam, quote, unquote, perpetuated by the Democrats should end right now." Bondi responded immediately, confirming she would move the court Friday morning to unseal the transcripts. The corporate press, especially the New York Times, is already scrambling to downplay it. They're calling Trump's order a meaningless stunt and trying to distract what this really is. The President of the United States forcing a reckoning over a cover-up that spans multiple administrations, elites, and agencies. The move comes after Trump blasted Rupert Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal for publishing what appears to be a completely fabricated story based on a letter tying him to Epstein. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal report, Trump supposedly wrote a birthday letter and drew a picture on it. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump's style. It doesn't match anything in his documented history. So Trump is suing News Corp, the Journal, and Murdoch personally for defamation. In his words, they printed a fake letter, supposedly to Epstein. "These are not my words, not the way I talk. He shouldn't print this fake story," he added. And he also said, "I'm going to sue his ass off." The heat is clearly building on the story. Attorney General Pam Bondi said that she's reviewed a massive trove of Epstein-related material, and controversially, she hasn't released all of it at the moment, but there are thousands of documents that are under seal in the courts, and they could shed a lot of transparency on this case. What a lot of people want is the little black book. This seems to be the heart of the controversy. We'll see if this is referenced further in these grand jury documents that hopefully get released, and also if Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the arrested so-called madam of Jeffrey Epstein, who's serving time for a conspiracy to solicit prostitution, which of course suggests that it wasn't just Jeffrey Epstein involved in this case, what she has to say, hopefully to Congress, if they allow her to do that, and that would go a long way towards shedding more transparency in this case. So the whole point of this is that the last week or so has been just nonstop Epstein coverage, but Trump is actually getting a lot of victories for America. People need to remember that. And in the background, justice does take time to proceed in the United States. We have court hearings, we have documents and FOIAs and all sorts of procedural hurdles towards releasing information that could expose victims or wrongfully accused in particular. So we'll see what comes of this story, but hopefully Pam Bondi reacts, because this has been quite a bombshell story, and we hope you stick with us at Explain America to follow the developments and unpack it with you. So thank you for any feedback and for watching.